All right, hey everybody, this is Ken, and we have a new guest, announcer, commentator.
Sure.
What do we call you? Guest, just
works.
a guest,
Yeah.
because Brandon, he's either late or now he's got his
Yeah.
teeth are getting
At
pulled.
least I was on time and my teeth are all right.
Yeah, which is great. Your teeth are cool, and you are on time. That is literally the only qualifications that we need for this. So we're hopping right back into part 2 of this 2-5 live stream game from St. Andrews over Easter weekend.
Yep.
Is that a thing? I mean, that's what it's called, right? I mean, it's the weekend of Easter.
The weekend of Easter, yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's Easter weekend. Yeah. So the same old crew of characters that we have back. This is the second hour and a half of our game. That's it.
Awesome. Let's get
So
into
I don't
it.
know what Aaron's doing, but he's slowing us down. All right. Mike's already in 7-5. You haven't seen any of Mike's plays yet. They're great.
I haven't.
Yeah, as a technician of the game, it's a little tough to kind of quantify what
Mike's
he's doing
the
here.
9C, right? I've seen Mike play
Yeah.
PLO a
Sox
little bit.
hat,
I've
yeah.
never seen him play Hold'em.
It's great.
So
Brian, I can't imagine he's going to fold an ace deuce.
I don't think so.
Or is Mike still thinking about what to bet? Oh, here we go.
No.
We're on the flop. Yeah, those cards in the bottom are the flop.
There we go.
Now we're catching on.
All
We'll
right,
get
so
there.
we got
3 9s on the board.
So Chris makes a full house and
Yes.
everybody else is squadouche.
Yes.
All right.
Mike's out of it. Brian? You think Brian could justify call? It's not a very big pot. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, whatever.
And he just gives it up. And
Right? There's no reason to go to battle for something like that when...
Yeah, not this early. Well, I guess it's not early if we're in the second hour and a half, but people pick weird times to battle also, so.
Really?
Never, yeah.
You're just like, hey, I'm... Speaking of battles, I am finally caught up on Game of Thrones. I'm dying to call everybody I know to be like, hey, remember the last, 2 years I've been yelling at you to not say a single thing about Game of Thrones? And now, people are getting weird. Like, well, are you sure? Is this a trick? Like, are you trying to trick us? Like, are you really caught up? And, yeah, I'm finally caught up.
How long did that take you?
I only had to skip work for 8 days.
Well, it's a good thing you're the boss. You can
Right, yeah, I
skip
could
work
do
whenever
that.
you want.
I could do that, yeah. So it was good. So, yeah, I basically didn't go to work all weekend, stayed home and watched Game of Thrones, and finally got caught up, and then decided I was going to go to the event on Sunday, this past Sunday, at Tavern on the Grange. And I went at 6, hung out, and my wife starts texting me at 8:30, and she's watching it live on HBO. And she's like, oh my god, it's so good, oh my god, come home, watch it right now. And I literally turned to Brandon, I was like, yeah, sorry, I'm going to go now, I'm going to leave. So I literally left, went home, and because I was all caught up through this past season. Anyways,
So you had to watch the first 2.
and then the third one came on Sunday. So
Yeah.
it was legit, craziness, legit.
Awesome.
Trying to figure out what Mike's doing here. I don't know if he's buying more chips.
I think he
or
just
did
got,
he just
yeah.
snap all in.
Nah, he just got more chips. That was what it looked like.
Hey, watch the language there, bud.
Ed,
like
the
he's captain.
table captain, is yelling at people. So Ed is right here in the 7 seat. Alex is in the 8 seat. Mike is in the 9 seat. Come back around. You got what'd you call it? Flips. Anthony Flips in the 2 seat. Brian is in the 3 seat. Chris here is in the 4, and then Billy the Kid and Dan. Do you know we call Dan the Ghost? Did you hear about that?
I think I did hear that story.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like.
And then it's
Dan's a good guy.
Airplane Ed, Big Cup Chris.
Airplane Ed. I know Big Cup Chris.
That's Big Cup Chris on the left. He's a new father, so he basically has no time anymore.
Yeah, I know about that.
You've got a lot of kids too.
We got 4 kids. Yeah.
4. I have 3 now.
Yeah. You're almost there.
Yeah, I don't know. My wife literally said there's no way. All right, so Billy. Okay, Mike goes all in for 8-9. I think he went all in dark.
Yeah, so we were wrong. He was not rebuying.
No, he was not.
The money was in the middle.
Chris, pretty loose.
Yeah,
He's just
I mean,
tired
the
of-
king 6. I mean, a suited king. If you think you're ahead of a blind range,
He is.
He is. So.
I mean, he was.
And then Billy the Kid just happens to wake up
Just
with 2
wakes
jacks.
up,
So
yeah.
nothing you can do there.
But now here's a question, and it looks like. Oh, Mike's pointing at the camera.
you got to get that time in there.
It seems like William. It seems like William.
William the child.
William the child. It seems like Billy did he just call?
That is what it looks like.
Any
Yeah.
merit to getting Chris off of the hand? I mean, I guess we'll find out with the flop, but if you had jacks in that position, you got a blind all in, a call, you look down at jacks, no action behind you.
Right, yeah. If I
What
see
do you-
a blind all in and Chris just flats, I don't know. His flat looks like he might want somebody behind him to do something crazy. I mean,
Okay, on the count of 3,
Yeah.
I want you to do, in your mind, what happens when you flop a set. In your mind, like what happened?
Fist pump.
1, 2, 3. That's it. You can't show a fist pump on commentary. Like in my mind, it's like. Okay, be cool. Be cool. Be cool. Don't be cool.
Chill.
Be cool.
Don't look at it.
Be cool.
Don't look at it.
It's like literally in.
Look at the 10. Look at the 10. Look at the 10. Look at the 9. Look at the 10.
Don't look at the jack.
Don't look at the jack.
There's no jack
Don't
out
look
there.
At the jack.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
if I was Billy, I mean, I might just rip the jacks free.
I mean, it works-
especially if you know Chris knows that
Correct.
Mike's just all in blind. His range is gonna be a lot wider, and you are pretty close to the top of your range with jacks, or you just isolate, and then even if.
And here's the thing that I always think of, and Brandon always yells at me because I'm always in PLO mode. But like,
Oh, for sure.
do you put the guy do you put Chris on like a big pair, aces, kings, or queens? Because really with jacks, you're only scared of aces, kings, or queens, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, ace, king, whatever. It's a, it's a, it's
you're
a
not.
flip.
You're
It
not
is what it
concerned
is.
about flipping. I mean, and I think just like the hand, Billy only had about 400, 440. Like he didn't. Yeah, he had less than 100 bigs. Chris only had about 600.
Right.
I probably would have just got him. It didn't matter. Worked out anyway. He got the 200 in
He
there.
got the same amount
the
because
exact same
I don't
thing.
think Chris is never calling with king six.
Correct.
So it's like whatever. It didn't matter in this case. But now
Right.
if the flop came like a jack high. I mean, if he flops a set of jacks and Chris ends up flopping a flush draw, then maybe
They get it in.
we
right.
get it in. I mean,
But then
I
you
don't
also
know.
give
Chris.
the, you give the
I know
opportunity
Chris,
of
I
like
mean,
an ace or a queen rolling off where Chris doesn't make the best hand,
Right.
And now you lose your equity in the pot because you didn't just get the money in.
Right. I hate losing equity.
I hate losing money.
Yeah, that's bad too.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that. Are you a Cubs or a Sox fan?
Cubs.
God, dude, does anybody claim to be a Sox fan anymore?
No one with a
I don't
brain,
think so.
I don't think.
Brandon and I talked on Sunday. He was telling me this statistic about the top 5 revenue teams in baseball, and it's clearly like the Yankees, the Cubs,
yeah.
the Dodgers,
Yeah.
White
Maybe
Sox.
there's Red Sox up there, probably.
I don't remember the 4th but he was like, those are the top 3: Cubs, Yankees, Dodgers, which makes
Sure.
sense,
Yeah.
right? One, you literally cover the entire country, East Coast, West Coast,
Yeah.
Middle Coast, and not only that, but he said the White Sox are literally like number 5 for the most profitable. That's what it was.
Okay, that
Most
makes sense.
profitable teams.
Teams,
Yeah, in baseball. Isn't that nuts?
That's interesting.
And it
I
was
would not have
because-
guessed that.
I don't know. He was telling me they have some kind of like deal with the stadium where like if they don't hit a certain number of ticket sales, like they don't have to pay rent that day.
That's
Yeah, I don't know. It's like this weird like clause that they have, and they get I don't know whatever. And with all the like the profit sharing with the other teams, like they end up becoming one of the more profitable teams because
they don't sell enough tickets.
yeah, basically. So they're literally the bad news bears. Nobody cares if they get any better because they're profitable.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Cubs for so many years. Nobody cared that they didn't win.
Yeah.
Because everybody still like
It was a feel-good thing.
Right. What's the owner's motivation to spend money when you got a packed house? It's like fuck it.
Yeah.
What am I gonna?
If people are showing up, this is what I'm trying to do.
This is the
yeah.
product that we're giving out.
Yeah.
Billy the Kid goes from jacks to ace king very next hand, and gets Mike to raise into him with king 4.
Mike's
So,
getting it in so
He
far.
does. He's playing loose and
I'm liking
fast and drunk.
A little drunk? Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
like that. I mean,
Not a
we've all
lot
had
drunk.
Just
We
a little,
talked. We buzzed. He's buzzed.
A little,
He's healthily buzzed.
A little help. A little encouragement.
Yeah. Is that also 2 boards in a row with double nines? 3
yeah.
boards in a row? Nines are super hot.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. This is all live. Like, there's no like break in the stream here. This is.
Okay.
You had asked me earlier if there was like any stoppage
Yeah.
in play. No, this is
This is
all
all straight through?
Right, all taped. 3 hours, just a 3-hour chunk.
Mike gets there with the 4 on the river.
Does he really?
That's
Oh
why,
yeah.
This is why we opened the King 4 off, guys.
You're in anticipation of winning a $100 pot, and obviously
Yeah.
Billy bets into him.
Yeah.
Can he get away from a 4 here?
Oh,
he does!
I'm surprised he
Kid,
did.
the kid gets it in.
And,
Yeah, I mean,
oh, Brian
no,
puts it. Brian
calls.
puts in the. No, Brian. I think Brian raised. It's a bunch of greens out there.
Oh yeah, raised to 80,
Yeah.
and then
He's
the
not
kid
calling with
folded.
5
Holy
high,
cow!
yeah.
I love when the worst hand gets.
Yeah,
gets
right.
done. Mike folds the best hand with a 4. Billy bluffs, right? I mean, because he's basically bluffing with
Right.
ace king. Gets the best hand to fold, and then Brian's just like, "I'm going to choose to battle this hand."
Yeah.
3 bets it?
Nope, just raises.
Just raises.
Yep. Yeah, Billy leads out the ace king. Like his hand is unimproved. Like maybe he can get like a 4 or like 5s or 6, something like that to fold.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Except he just
and then he just got
he
raised
didn't
off
get Brian
his
to
hand.
fold. Yeah.
And then once he gets raised, like he really can only beat a bluff.
That's it.
And I mean, Brian may even be bluffing with hands like those, like
a 7 or a 4.
3s.
Yeah.
That even beat him. Probably not often, but Brian likes to put some money in too. Play with him a couple of times. Definitely not afraid to put money in, and if he thinks you're weak, he'll bet you. He'll come over the top.
Yeah, which is great. He's got a good sense of where he is in the hand.
Seems like it. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times I was like, oh man, that is such a good move. Like he's got a good sense of kind of gauging where you are and being able to either get you off the hand or he could fold thinking like, something's not right here.
Got a straddle on this hand. Mike's putting a little money in there.
Again.
I like it too when Brian, going back to like what we said, like Brian engaging and like putting the money in there with 5 high. Like if the guy calls you down, like a lot of times people, man, you put yourself in the spot where you're gonna look silly if it doesn't work. And he doesn't care, and I love that. Like, because that's what you need to get bluffs like that through.
Right.
Sometimes you look like a genius. Sometimes you look like not a genius.
Sometimes you're the hero. Sometimes you're the goat, and we don't mean the good kind of goat.
No.
Like the other kind of goat.
Right.
Like so they gotta have to change that saying. Like you're either the hero or the dipshit. I mean, what's like? Because goats like now everybody. When my wife asked me last night, she was like, what does goat mean?
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I keep seeing like, oh, Game of Thrones, hashtag GOAT, hashtag goat. She's like, what the hell is goat? She's like, Game of Another Thrones? And I was like, no, like it's greatest of all time, which is pretty crazy. You also want to hear another crazy story about goats. The original goat is, do you know who coined the frame goat? I'm pretty sure this is true. I'm not 100% true. I'm like 99% true.
I want to say Muhammad Ali.
Michael Jordan.
Was it Michael Jordan?
My brother used to play in a golf game with a bunch of guys, and they like to gamble and have a good time, right? And he ends up getting in the game. One of these guys ends up knowing a guy that knows Jordan, blah, blah, blah. Bert's playing in the Jordan golf game, which is a big game. They like gamble. It's super fun. I mean, it's Michael Jordan. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it was a while.
He did it for like 2 summers.
Yeah. I remember a little of that.
Yeah, it was really cool. And after a while, Bert's, obviously it's got to be super nerve-wracking to play with Michael Jordan.
Sure.
And Bert finally says to him, Mr. Jordan, Mike, like he's like, what do I call you? And Jordan's like, GOAT. And Bert's like, the hell does that mean? He goes, greatest of all time. And Bert was like, okay, you got it, Mr. the GOAT. Okay, like you just, Mr. Michael Jordan says, you call me Banana Head. You got it, Banana Head. Like what? Literally anything he tells you.
Oh, I still want to hear the acronym for Banana Head now.
Yeah, not that I would ever call Michael Jordan that. I'm just saying, like it's Michael Jordan. If the man says you call me this, that's what you call him. And he's like, GOAT. I want to be called GOAT.
Yeah. Oh,
now you got Tiger Woods is the GOAT, Tom Brady is the GOAT.
There's a GOAT.
Fucking LeBron James is a GOAT. That ain't true. I'm not a LeBron fan.
Maybe in Cleveland or Miami.
Not that I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm just
he's obviously good.
I like
it's
Michael Jordan. Though.
Yeah.
Like the guy won 6 championships.
Right.
It's pretty awesome. 6 championships.
He was so tired of winning championships, he took some time off to be bad at
You know what? I'm gonna go play baseball. And he was all right. That was great. Remember his baseball number?
Shoot, I want to say 8.
45.
Was it 45?
Yeah.
I thought he was maybe.
I think it was double 23 or something.
Something like that. Oh, it was his number when he was younger.
Correct.
When he was a kid.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was the opposite. When he was in high school, his number was 45.
Yeah.
They didn't have 45 when he joined the Bulls. He's like, so I'll do half or whatever, and it ended up being 22 and a half. And he's like, I guess I'll go with 23. Round up. Yeah, when you're Michael Jordan, you round up.
Right.
Wow, what kind of action we got here?
Oh boy,
Chris.
We got
Chris raised with the Queen 9 suited,
and then Brian,
which I dig.
Yep.
Brian calls. Mike gets in there with an 8 deuce. He's just splashing around.
Yeah.
Like he's just whatever. Any 2 cards look good to him right now. Flop is 4-4-6. Turns a 3.
So Mike picks up a gutter. Nobody else has too much.
Brian's still leading with the king.
Yeah. think we missed a little bit there. I couldn't tell if Brian opened the pot or if Chris did.
Well, we were busy talking about Michael Jordan.
Which is pretty
This is
important.
Chicago. Like
yeah.
we can. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, time stops when you want to talk about Jordan.
That's interesting. So we get a bet from Mike, and Chris calls with the queen high.
Yeah.
So he's just
putting
he's putting him on air.
His respect level of Mike right now
Is
is
really
at
low.
0.
Yeah.
If it was any less, I don't even know what would be less. How could it be less? He literally called with queen high.
Yeah.
He's good.
Right.
Like clearly the queen here, the check mark is by Chris's name.
Yeah.
Indicating you win the hand, sir, as long as you do not fold. But like, can he really call a bet here?
It's tough to hear on
It's
the
just a
turn when you
super
still have
read.
to make a decision on the river.
And he
I
bet
mean,
it
unless
out.
he's planning to just raise here.
Yeah. Okay. See,
So I think Chris was just calling the turn, and if Mike gave up on the river, he was gonna
check
bet.
it down.
No, I
or
think he was gonna try to take it
just
away,
take
like
it
maybe
away
get
from
like
him.
a king high or an ace out of fold,
or a 6 maybe.
or a 6. Yeah.
It's amazing the things he found out every die.
Although I don't know, we did see Mike fold the 4 on the previous hand, so I don't think he would fold a 6 here. But
sometimes it's hard when I watch these because like I know that he folded. I was like, dude, you totally could have got that through, but
Yeah.
like they don't know
for sure,
right? Like now they know because it'll be
Yeah.
up on the internets
yeah.
soon.
Now you have all the information.
All the
We have a
information.
little straddle here.
All right, so let's talk about your big win on Sunday, Alex.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some makeup for your backer, which
Yeah.
is nice. Who
Yeah.
will remain nameless at the moment. You know, he's just an anonymous poker backer.
Yep. It was pretty great. We were 9-handed at
That
final
was
table.
it was a $300 bounty tournament from Sunday at Tavern on the Grange.
It was, yeah.
Which had what, like
40
players? I think 40
yeah.
on the head, right?
Yeah.
It's 4K in bounties.
Yep.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
So every time you knock a player out, it's $100. So
Yeah.
just you're the expert guest commentator. I almost said guest judge, like this is American Idol or something. American Idol.
Oh,
American Idol. There we go.
I want to
got
be
there.
the mean judge now.
Mean judge.
I'm gonna start ripping.
No, I gotta be the mean judge.
Oh, okay.
When you're playing in a bounty tournament, do you? Obviously, the bounties come into play, right? Like, are you looser? Your ranges are bigger because you want that, especially in a $100 bounty. I mean, it's not like it's $25.
Yeah, it's really dependent there. Early on, my ranges are probably tighter because, like, we were seeing it would be a 3-bet pot, and we would still see 5-way actions at the flop. Like, if you don't make a hand,
I feel like
you're not winning the pot. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this. I hate to interrupt you, but
No.
Mike flops 3 threes.
He raised the
And
button also.
He's great.
Yeah.
Like, we know he's kind of hamming it up for the
Yeah,
camera because, like, I think he's the first player to ever play, and he's just, like, he's super into, like, being on TV or
TV.
whatever. Like, yeah, he's into it. It's fun. And he's having an incredibly good time. Look at him. He's all smiles. Even when he's getting beat on, because he's getting beat on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he hasn't gotten a ton, you know. It's great.
So we got Brian's got the 8-high flush draw, calls a bet on the flop. He also, so Mike raised the button. Brian called out of the big blind with the 8-2 suited.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
But
we can say it. We're
you-
past.
you
Oh
flopped that?
no! Normally our customer retention rate is about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
We're at 18 minutes in, so I'm not allowed to swear until after like
Oh,
20
gotcha.
minutes. So
Okay,
I
cool.
apologize to everybody for saying it's a shit show. But honestly, there was bets
Yeah.
pre-flop, and we
And
were down to
these-
3-4 and
these-
8 deuce.
These are the hands we have.
And
yeah.
I mean,
And Mike's gonna continue.
just snap calls.
Yeah.
Just no
Nah.
idea.
To be fair, you call a raise with the 8-2 hearts. That's a pretty decent flop. Like you're
So
not
it's
folding
great.
a flush
I
draw.
find that
yeah.
I've been saying this a lot lately. Like, why did you call with that hand if you kind of hit the flop and you're not going to keep going?
Right.
Like, keep going.
Here we go.
Turn to dud. Brian's going to fire a bullet at him.
Yeah, he misses the river.
Any
And-
chance Mike folds here?
No.
0, right?
0 chance. He's just deciding whether to call or raise. I'm pretty sure all of his money's going in the middle, though.
Glasses come off.
Yeah,
He's
Mike's.
got 375. Brian bet $140.
Oh, you know what? I didn't see those green chips. Yeah.
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 So this number
Brian-
next to their name, that's the dollar symbol, 375. That means how much they have.
That is a helpful graphic.
It is. It is a helpful
You guys are
graphic.
really on top of it over here. Yeah. I think there's no chance Mike's folding. Similar to like what we said, like Brian called with the 8-2 flops a flush draw. He's probably not folding. Like if you raise with the 3-4, and
the hand
flop this
kinda-
hand, you're probably not.
Not that
getting
it
away
played
from
itself, but I mean, it kind of played itself, right? Like, he's
Right.
got the flush draw. He check called the whole way,
Yep.
missed on the river. He knows the only way I'm going to win this pot is by firing something
Yeah.
and try to get Mike to believe that even if he's got a 3, that he's got a better kicker.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Mike's just trying to think right now, does he really have the other 3? Like, does he really? Look at him.
Yeah.
He's deep in thought right now. Does he really have another 3?
Yeah.
And it gets quiet. Like, I like when the table gets a little quiet because they know it's a pretty big pot. I mean, it's not a huge pot, but
Yeah, it's nice that when people like
It's
observe the proper etiquette
good
for
etiquette.
things like this. Yeah.
Because sometimes people have poor poker etiquette.
Yeah.
And it's hard. You know, like Ed and Dan are talking, but like they're
They're
quietly
quiet.
talking.
They're also sitting right next to each other. It would be different if Dan was talking to the guy in the one
Across
seat,
the
like
street.
right
Yeah.
through them. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
Like literally through the.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You'd first have to be louder, and then also you're talking like right through the two players. Like
It's distracting.
It is distracting. Yeah.
Give everybody's got a moment.
Yeah.
Do you find that there's a time limit to like how much you can? Okay, now they're talking about calling the
Oh,
clock,
did
which is
someone-
not cool because it's only been maybe a minute.
Yeah.
So there's my question.
Right.
At what point do the other players? Two-part question,
Okay.
Alex. At what time do you call clock? And is it appropriate for another player to call clock?
I think it is appropriate for another player to call
Meaning, like,
clock if
they're
it's-
not in the hand.
If it's been a certain amount of time. Like in this spot, I'm never calling a clock. Like he could take another 5 minutes. I'm probably not calling a clock if he's not habitually doing this.
Right.
Now, if it, I've
So it's situational, right?
Yeah.
Because like a guy's constantly tanking.
Yeah.
Bro, play faster.
right. Like I don't know if you remember a month or two when we were in Metawood, there was the one guy kept tanking, saying he wanted to talk. He's like slow rolled the lady, made
Right.
a flush. Like
Which makes it like double worse.
it's so bad. And that guy, I'll put the clock on every time. Like just until he
to shut it down.
to shut it down. Even if he gets annoyed and leaves,
So
like I don't
it's-
care if he's the live one in the game.
It's funny,
If
it's
he
something-
leaves, it's fine. The game is still going to be better without that
Correct.
person there.
Brandon and I talked about it in the first part of this,
Yeah.
in this game, last week's commentary, about how Mike is kind of loud. He's he's showboating a little bit. He's
Sure.
having a good time. However, he does it in a fun manner. He's
Right.
not picking on anybody. He's not making fun of anybody. You know what I mean? Like it makes the game more enjoyable.
Right, I agree.
It's just I find that we're all in this community together. Like make it fun. Like
Yeah.
nobody wants to play poker and be miserable.
right. Like
It
this,
sucks to lose, and I am you guys know me. I'm a horrible loser. Everybody knows if I'm losing because I don't talk. I'm pissed. Like
Yeah.
I'm not looking at anybody.
Yeah.
And then when I'm winning, I'm like Mike. Blah, 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 and I'm
Yeah.
all over the place. And
Yeah, I mean I think most people. I don't know too many people who are good losers. Like
No.
if you are, you're probably like a constant loser.
Yeah.
Like you're so good at it. Like you've had so much practice. You got
all right,
good
so
at it.
Mike does make the
He
call,
makes the
and
call,
he's
yeah.
good.
for sure. I do
You were
like-
right. It was either he was contemplating a raise. Could I get a raise and get it through?
I think
and
so, yeah.
Get him to call.
We're playing level 4 over here. You're not there.
We're playing level 4.
I don't know what levels 1 through 3 are, but I can't
I
wait
think
to find out.
I might be currently playing
Yeah.
levels 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Mike might have just leveled up there.
I've heard things like that before. Like I'm on this level. I want to know what the cap to the number of levels is. How many there are. I love that stuff. But yeah, I do like that Mike, even though he's getting like out of line, like with his raises and things like that, he still put some thought into it. Like,
Right.
He's not just snapping. Because I mean, you got who's it? Brian in the big. Brian will probably defend wider than most people. Like he can have. He can have ace 3 there.
And
Like
these
I mean,
two-
most threes were chopping, but it's not necessarily just snap put the money in every single time.
And those two have kind of been battling it out. Like they've been,
Oh, were they in the
they've
first
gotten
session?
a lot of hands together. Like they've
Yeah.
they've kind of been going at each other. They're definitely the two, most in the pot voluntary.
The
VPIP,
VPIP, yeah.
they've been very high on voluntarily putting
Yeah.
money into that pot. So it's good.
Makes sense.
And then bring me a cap.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of clock calling unless it's
Very, very. It's got to be like way
flagrant.
past.
Yeah, and then also this is a cash game. The blinds aren't going up. If it's a tournament and the levels are shorter.
Sure, the
like,
time frame
yeah.
gets smaller in a tournament
Yeah,
because
very-
you're literally everybody's on the clock,
Absolutely.
right? Like I don't want to burn through it here. Like
Yeah.
let's get some more
I'd be
hands.
I'd be much quicker. Also, like That was a fairly large pot. Like that was.
I mean, it's $500.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's a whole buy-in.
It's not chump change.
Yeah.
You know, you're right.
You know, if it was a $50 pot, I'd probably
And he's
put the clock
tanking
on
like,
him.
dude, come
Yeah.
on. So the pot size certainly.
Yeah, pot size and the action in the river, like all that stuff would play into it. Oh, Chris got
Well, we got a
kings
hand
here.
here now. Yeah, Dan Limpton
So
with sevens.
we got
Mike raised, obviously.
Mike raised, but
Anthony 3-bet.
Yeah, we got.
It's our first 4-bet,
We got the 4-bet in there.
which is super sweet. And Dan gives up the sevens. I kind of would have liked to see it. Now maybe he's thinking Anthony's gonna re-raise him here, so that's part of the reason
he has
why
a
he
lot
just-
of action behind him to like set mine right here with for $175. And I didn't see what Dan's stack was, but like
It's
typically if you're gonna set mine, you don't want to put in that much of your chips. Like I think the rule is like 10% of your chips for like
a set mine,
yeah,
or trying to
something
hit a
like
set
that, like 1 out of 10. Yeah,
with like 4 guys in the hand.
something like that. I forget the exact like. It's not a rule, but it's whatever. Like
Right.
one of those guidelines people try to tell like beginning players. Like if you're not getting, if you can't get 10-1 on your stack or 10-1 on your bet.
Right.
So, and Chris only had once Chris made it 175 there. He only had I think $200 behind.
Right.
So it's really, really not worth set mine unless he thinks
At minimum, it was a third of his stack to
Minimum.
see a flop.
Yeah.
Like that's not good equity to try to find.
Yeah, so Dan's got about 600 and it was just under 2. Yeah. So I like the fold. I like
Did I see
everything
a
that happened
Tim in
there. I think we got a new player in the 7th seed.
Oh yeah, Tim,
Yep.
new guy.
I think
Alex-
he
Alex
sat
had left.
down
He had
right,
just
yeah,
sat
right
down.
after the hand with the big pot. He said that.
Nice, nice. Billy the Kid gets a walk.
Yeah, I think he did. Oh, they may have chopped it.
Oh yeah, they probably chopped it.
Yeah.
Are you a chop guy? You always chop? Don't chop?
Yeah, I'm pretty lenient with the chop. I've never played in a time rate game like 5-10 or higher. If I played in a game like that, I would not chop just because we've already paid the rake. So the
Might
whole
as well.
point of chopping is to not pay the rake.
Right.
Also short-handed. Like if it gets to less than 6 players, I'm not chopping because
Yeah.
we're just gonna chop all day. But yeah, in general, I will. The only time I wouldn't is in like a full game is if the guy is the guy that doesn't chop or like a selective chopper. I'll chop this time, and then next
See,
time
that's
when
the
I
thing
got
that
the
gets me,
kings,
and I always
I'm
do
not-
it when
yeah.
we do like PLO when they allow you to run it twice. And actually, I believe that they're allowing them to run it twice in this game
Yeah, I
because
think
it's a
you're
2-5 game, so they are allowing the running it twice if both players agree. But I'm a firm believer of either always run it twice or you don't run it twice. You
Right.
can't situationally be like, okay, this time I'm going to run it twice because I think I'm on the draw or whatever.
Right.
Like I hate when people. Hate's a strong word, but
Yeah.
I dislike when people like.
I'm kind of mixed on that.
Really?
I am, because I think there's certain times that running it twice makes sense, and certain times it doesn't.
Okay.
And I think a lot of that has to do with we got trip aces for both these fellas here.
Yeah, so it looks like Ed betted out and Dan min raised him,
Yeah,
which is cool. I mean, when a guy, it's one of my 2 most hated things in poker.
What's that?
You want to set me off to massive tilt, Ken? Is
Put the min raise
min
in?
bet me?
Oh my god, I love it.
And the other thing I can't deal with is directional bet. So like when a guy's looking at me and like throws his chips,
throws his
not
chips
throws,
at,
but like
yeah.
rolls out the chips like
Yeah.
right at me. I like I go full Hulk mode. I can't handle
That's
it.
Awesome. I would never have guessed that.
Yeah,
the
it's the
directional
directional bet.
I never even thought
Directional
about
bet
that now. I like
gets me
that.
from 1 to Hulk super fast.
Yeah.
Min raise is just aggravating to
Yeah.
me. It's like if you're gonna raise me, just raise me.
right.
I can't. I go on tilt. Now neither one of them have great kickers here.
Right, which is why I think the reason for the min raise, like Dan wants
Yeah.
to get more money in
And
there,
it looks like
but he
Ed
doesn't
gave it up.
necessarily want to put all the money in. Yeah, and Ed gives it up.
And I mean, there was probably a pretty good chance that they were gonna chop it out there. Maybe. I don't know. When I
Yeah.
have an ace-6 and I flop 3 aces, I don't know. I'm really thinking my 6 is never gonna play. So it's like, can you put the
Right.
guy on a ace-king, ace-queen,
Yeah, I mean,
ace-jack, ace-10?
I mean, yeah, anything A7 plus there beats him right now.
Right.
But like you said, there's a few more cards coming out. There's decent chances
for
of
50
of
bucks,
splitting.
I would have
Yeah.
liked to see a turn.
I would have
Try to peel off a 6, and again, if like a king pops off, then I'm like, all right, well, I'm pretty. I mean, like
Right.
now I'm. So really, for him, it's like a 6, a king, a queen, another jack, and you're really kind of feeling pretty good about your
Right.
hand.
Yeah. I'm right there with you on that one. I think.
Although, again, am I really recommending to players that you should call bets hoping to chop?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I just did.
You
but
shouldn't, but I mean, there's always the possibility too that Dan gets out of line there. I mean, he's not I've never played with him. I've dealt to him a handful of times. He's not really a guy that gets out of line too much.
Right.
But I feel like
He plays pretty standard. I hate to say old guy poker,
Sure.
but like just standard old school poker. Maybe that's a better word.
There you
to
go,
say.
old school poker.
Just
I
old
like
school.
that.
Like
Yeah.
I'm playing good cards. I'm betting good cards. I'm
Yeah.
aggressively betting.
Yep.
I'm not going super tricky here.
Right.
Brian, on the other hand, plays more new
school
school.
poker,
Where like
yeah.
I'm willing to splash and do stuff and try to make moves.
I'm gonna
and
make you make a decision, kind
Right.
of thing. Yeah.
I find that a lot of people don't put players to the decision.
No.
So guys, if
Oh.
you're listening out there, put
Put some money in
playing
the pot,
partners.
guys.
Yeah,
Come
put money.
on.
You can't win unless you put money in the pot.
Right. All that was to say that while Dan does play old school poker, I guess we're calling it, when people are like trying to assess like what somebody else has, I feel like they really underestimate the amount of times where people like sometimes people just lose their mind. Like it's crazy. Like you're like, oh, the guy never has just a jack here. And yeah, most of the time Dan doesn't have a jack there, but every now and then
He does.
he might just lose his mind.
Yeah, that's
And,
funny.
I mean, like I said,
I think-
Dan's it's not a big percentage, but I feel like people assess it. Oh, it's 0%. Like no, there's definitely at least 1% that he loses his mind here.
Well, and the other thing to think about too is that Ed also probably plays old school poker, right?
Right.
Like he's just playing good, tight, aggressive poker.
Right.
Whereas, you try to make that move where you both have an ace on Mike or a Brian or Anthony.
Absolutely.
Not gonna work as many times as
Right.
you do with a guy who can make that fold, right? You got to know your partners if they're playing partners. What do you call them?
Your
Opponents?
opponents,
Maybe opponents is a
yeah.
better word.
Partners would be a bad.
Yeah,
word, I
yeah, it's
think.
weird. Yeah, that would be bad. But you got to know your opponent, right? Like know that they can actually make that laydown.
Absolutely.
Anthony's trying to put a move on Dan here. Speaking of which,
Dan, well,
I mean Dan's got ace high.
Yeah.
Anthony's bet it the whole way. Dan checks back to him, and Anthony's thinking, how much do I have to bet to get him to fold?
yeah, Dan did pick up a gutter on the turn. I don't know if he's just thinking ace high is good, or he wanted to see if he could hit an ace or 10.
Well, Anthony put out a pretty sizable
That's
bet
a
here.
big one. I think that's probably going to get through there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
It's a nice size pot, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, relative to the pot, it was a good size bet.
No show here. How often do you show bluffs?
It really depends. Yeah, it depends on, like, if it's a. This seems like a pretty friendly game.
It is.
So I
Yeah, they've all been
probably-
having fun. And
Unless it's like.
nobody seems to be pissed at another player, like
Right.
the I'm gonna get you guy,
So I probably I probably wouldn't show Dan. Like I'm not trying to embarrass Dan there, so I
Right.
probably won't show a bluff. But like if like Mike or Brian's like getting out of line, like and I feel like they're bluffing me, I might show them a little something
Just to get 'em-
just
kinda
to keep
set 'em off
keep
their
'em on
game,
edge.
right? Yeah.
maybe a little. Also, like I don't know how. I know seems like a friendly game. I don't know how how close of friends any of these guys are. It's always way more fun to show your friend a bluff.
Yeah,
Like,
like
it's-
haha,
yeah.
right? Because they're gonna remember it, and you can text about it
Yeah,
later.
you get to,
be
yeah,
like,
you
I
get,
got you.
Yeah, you
fool.
have like the lifetime equity. Of like,
Correct.
oh, wait, remember when I had 9 high and you folded like 2 pair? You're so good at poker.
You're so good at poker. You're so good at poker. Mike with threes. He's got 2 callers, 3 callers, 2 callers. Still got the best hand? Does he not
Nah,
have the
Brian
best
flopped
hand?
a king.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forget about those kings.
Yeah. Not gonna slow down Mike. 3
No.
overs. Let's have at it. Oh. That was interesting.
What?
He brought out the whole stack and then like dropped 2 into his hand and then dropped.
Again, playing mind games.
Yeah.
Playing mind games.
And yep, Dan gets away.
Dan's out of the way. Brian's gonna call.
Yeah.
Now he kind of gives
Oh,
up the
and
3.
check.
Check. Feel like this hand could easily get checked down.
I think if Mike,
Mike
doesn't
is-
if Mike doesn't bet, Brian's gonna check behind. I noticed Brian doing this the other day when we were playing in the Mow and Go. Oh, okay.
there
Well,
you go.
I'm just wrong. No worries. That happens too. A lot of times.
Pretty sure he's just gonna check. Oh no, wait, he bets it out.
It could be that this is cash and that was a turn, but he was with hands like this, like if you'd have like a queen jack on like a queen high board, he would like call a bet and then like check back. Like he wasn't trying to put too much money in with one pair. Could be opponent dependent and could be game dependent because it's a cash game also.
Again, it's a cash game, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's a tournament, a little bit different because that finality, right? Like if you're out, you're out. You can't buy back in.
Right.
These guys.
So. But see, just like going for it with a bet, I went for it with a prediction there, and I look like a fool. Just put the money in, guys. Mike's gonna just knock on that for us. It's a little something in the air. And the bet goes through.
Nice.
Coming in, Manoli.
Coming in, Manoli. Mike has been the table's best promoter.
Yeah.
He's just legit yelling across the room.
To
like,
players.
Hey, you, Bill, Mike, Frank, George,
Sit down.
Get in this game.
Yeah.
Like, it's fun. It's nice when the players are kind of like goading other players to be like, get in this game.
Okay, I did not even notice that Chris had gotten up.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even think they
He's
have
a new
seat.
dad. Like, he's got to go home and take care of the kiddo.
For sure. I thought Mike is like recruiting people to get on the list.
Oh. No, earlier the game was full and he's still yelling at it. Like, he's like, Johnny Horseshoe, get over here, blah, blah, blah. You know, it was great.
We got the straddle out because, Mike's under the gun.
Billy Kidd mixing it up a little bit.
Nice.
I feel like I talked to him yesterday. I was like, did you watch the commentary from the first day? He's like, yeah. I was like, Brian and I kind of gave you a little bit of shit about, some what we thought could have been different moves. And then I finally said to him, I was like, however, like, it clearly worked out for him. Like, he min bought in for 180. I think he came from 1-3 and only had like just under 200. It might have been barely 200. But like, the kid's got almost $800 now. Like, I mean, he's doing fine. Like, don't listen to anybody else.
Yeah.
You're the one who's actually got to play your hands.
Right.
It's funny. I always say, like, when I play PLO and I'll get up and then, like, some guy's in my seat and just crushes, runs $400 into, like, 5K. And I'm like, damn it. And Brandon always reminds me, he's like, yeah, but you might not have played the hands the same way.
Right.
So it's like, you can never be like, oh, I gave up so much equity by giving up my seat. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you have no idea how you would have played it or if you would have raised or if you would have made a move or not made a move or made a fold, whatever. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Although it is a little soul-crushing sometimes when you get up and, and a guy rips through.
It's good to have a friend like Brandon in there to remind you of that.
Yeah.
But then you also
Brandon is always he's my voice of reason.
Yeah,
that's
a good
voice of reason. Man, he's like, no, he's like, you can't think of it like that. You gotta think of it like this. And he's been doing pretty good. He set a game at the Horseshoe last night was super sick.
They've been getting the 5-5 PLO.
He was playing 1-2, and he said the 1-2
really?
game he bought it for like 500, ran it up to like 5 or 6K. I want to say, like, just guys just spewing money. The 5-5 game players were moving over to 1-2 because there was more action.
That good of a game?
Yeah, it was just that good, which is fun.
Yeah.
Always fun.
Another straddle on.
Tim hasn't gotten any hands yet.
No.
But that never stops Mike, though.
That's true.
Not getting hands. Mike's cool with whatever. Oh, hey. 2-4, I bet he has. Yes.
Oh my God, you're so good at reading
Pegged
poker. I don't know if we got Mike's cards registered there. I wanted to see what he folded for $5.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah.
The straddle got a walk there.
Let's look at some stack sizes here. Anthony's got a pretty big stack. Brian's still got a big stack. The kid still, Kid ran it up. Ed's, I think, came over with that stack. He might have won a couple of little pots, but he might be up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think Chris had left with some money on the table.
Yeah, Chris had. Yeah, he had about 500 before. He had, he had about 400, and then he picked up those kings.
Yeah,
I think that was the last time we saw.
He played one hand earlier where he played ace king the whole way down and got going pretty good, and then banked a king on the river and did fine.
Okay.
All right, let's see what kind of sizing the kiddo does here.
For
min raise on a straddle. I think there was a straddle out there.
It was saying 10
Brian. Because Brian is the straddle.
You're right. Yeah. So the min raise on the straddle. Dan just calls with the 10s.
I find it's tough to play jacks when
you're
under the gun, especially with a straddle. Like, it makes it difficult to kind of decide what to do.
Mike coming in with the 3-bet with the 8-4 off.
Mike 3-bet him. Wow. Even the players at the table.
I'd like to see more 3-betting than we have seen
Yeah,
so
Brandon
far.
and I talked about that.
I mean, pots are easier to win when there's less people in there.
I mean, not a great flop for jacks. You hate
Yeah.
to see one of them big face cards.
Yeah. Let's see what Mike does.
Especially three-way pot.
This is interesting when Mike 3-bet out of position, so he's first to act.
And
after
flop
getting-
middle pair.
Yeah, he's definitely continuing there. And
But
he's already,
Dan's got 10s, Billy the Kid's got jacks. Like,
Yeah.
this could get ugly fast.
Yeah.
Or Mike could actually get it through.
He might just get. He might. I think one of these guys is going to look him up, just because he has been so active.
Looks like 60? Nah, 75.
75. Yeah, and he made it 85 pre, so there's already like 260 in there.
285.
Pretty
Graphics.
close. I forgot to add in and stuff.
I think he might get Billy to. Yeah, he got him to fold. Now Dan
see.
is Dan gonna is Dan a true believer? He's looking at chips. I don't think he
Nah.
thinks it. So how funny that Mike gets the best hand to fold,
fold,
and now all of
yeah.
a sudden Dan goes from like a 20% winner, 1 out of 5, to just
Yeah,
almost 80% of the time he wins. He just flipped the odds.
interesting card. They both pick up gut shots.
Yep.
Yeah. And what is? Let's see, Dan. The stack number is what they started the hand with.
No, it's current.
It's current. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got.
I'm pretty sure
400
it's
more.
current. Looks like Mike's gonna bet it again.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awesome.
I like it.
I mean, if
I
you're
like
gonna-
the aggression. Like
Yeah.
you put in the 3-bet.
Keep going.
Yeah. If you're gonna wrap the hand, you might as well go now.
Dan's not buying it though.
He's not having it.
no.
We did see on the previous hand when Dan picked up a gut shot, he missed and then gave up on the river. So
Right.
if nobody improves here, I want to see what happens. That's
King of Hearts, so the backdoor flush gets there, but
Yeah.
nobody's thinking about that, right? Not heads up. You can't imagine that's good.
I don't. I mean, unless you're the only person I would be concerned about that would maybe be Dan if like he thought. If he thought he was up against like an ace with a flush draw, but he's already losing to an ace, so it doesn't play in there too much.
Oh, yeah. Just, again, you're either losing or you're losing more.
Losing more, right? Yeah.
Mike checks. Dan's just going to show it. No
yeah.
equity in betting there, right?
Oh, for Dan, no.
And,
no,
and
for Mike.
Billy's thinking, oh, man, I had jacks, guys.
I would
Seriously, I had jacks.
love to see Mike just shove that river.
Really?
Yeah, but I just love, like, I mean, you 3-bet, you barreled. I just want to see it get through.
At some point, yeah, when you're not a give up. You don't give up. No give up at Alex.
I mean, there's definitely times to give up. I just felt like that was going to get through. He probably thought.
I wonder if it would have got
He's
through.
probably surprised that the 10s got turned over. He probably thought he was up against an ace and just gave up.
Now he's regretting not betting.
Possibly, yeah.
The regretful check on the river.
Yeah.
I like it. I liked it.
Yeah, I'd like to see the hero show. I like hero things. Hopefully my backer's not listening.
Sometimes you got to be the hero.
Sometimes. It's rare that it
Or the
works out.
dipshit. Sometimes you're the hero, sometimes you're the dipshit.
Yeah.
Is that I'm going with that now?
Yeah, I think
you're
it's
either the hero or the dipshit.
Yeah, it can't be the goat. Got a bunch of folds to Mike on the button. I feel like it's not going to get past there.
Ooh, King 10.
10
Mike's
of
got a
hearts,
hand.
Yeah. Makes it a quarter to go. And they just both give it up.
Yeah, I
Nothing-
mean,
nothing
5-4,
doing.
4 deuce.
Yeah.
Tough to go to battle with those types of hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop Mike, but
No.
you don't really want to be calling with those hands.
No.
Right? I don't need to read Super System here to know
Right.
that it's not a profitable play.
Right. I think you're right on there.
Mm-hmm. Good. Maybe I'm getting better at this.
You are getting better.
I'm
at
getting
this
better.
thing. You know, when
Getting
you watch
better.
enough of these live streams,
Yeah, I'm getting
you're
better.
gonna be a player.
I'm
man.
getting there. I'm getting there. I feel like I'm putting in the work here to think about stuff.
There you go.
I like it.
It's like free coaching.
It's free coaching. Freecoaching.com.
There you go.
Brought to you by Chicago Charitable Games.
Live.
I love the quick fold. Not even hesitating to fold.
Nah. Tim still not getting.
No.
I don't think we've seen Tim put a
I
chip
don't
in
think
the
he's
pot.
put any money in yet.
Aside
Not
from
even
his
a
blinds.
blind.
No.
Not even. Has he even put in blinds yet? I mean, maybe
Probably
once.
Maybe
one
walked
round.
away, yeah. And Mike's in there. I mean, day 4 didn't work last time. It's got to work this time.
I mean, eventually those hands work.
Absolutely. And can't see what it sounded. I thought he said we have a raise from the button. It looks like Brian 3-bet him. Oh, from the small line, sorry.
Yeah, 18 to call, and it looks like he's going to raise 3 bets to 65.
Nice. Yeah.
65.
Ace queen of spades. Nice little hand there.
8-4. Screensavers on. Back end play. I mean, Mike's going to see a flop. I like it. His dedication to his hands is high.
Yeah.
Not,
I mean, he opened 25, what is it, 40, 45? Oh, he opened to 20, 45 more. He's in position. Why not, right? And you said these two guys have been battling the whole
they've been
session.
going at it the whole time.
Yeah, he's not.
It's
He's just never
It's
giving
those
that
two
up.
going at it, and occasionally you get a third guy in the hand.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
he could have had a 4 and a napkin. He still would have got in there.
I like the word napkin.
Yeah.
Napkin's a great poker reference
For
that I
just
feel like,
not
not a lot of people use yet. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good, like, what a napkin. You
Yeah.
know? Give me a napkin on the river. You know, just a nothing.
Oh.
Ooh, queen.
Well, any chance of winning for Mike just went out the window.
Yep.
Although I don't think Brian was folding the flop or the turn.
Nope.
So
Check the cards. Make sure that 8-4 hasn't changed. And the worst part is, not the worst part, but Mike has also taken the most of the beatings here on the Brian Mike fights. You know?
Yeah.
He has not won a ton against Brian. Brian has basically had his number all night.
Yeah. Yeah, he had the trip 3's hand, and
Yeah.
I think that's the only one I saw the two of them battle that he drew.
And even then, I think Brian made a bet that kind of kept...
he did, yeah,
you know,
when he
kept
fired the
pot-
river
right,
pretty large.
It kind of put him to a test. And
Yeah.
So it was good. All good stuff.
It's good viewing, good stuff to see. You don't want to watch a boring game. You don't want to be in a boring game.
Mike is anything but boring.
Yeah. They're a little
Mike
quiet.
is
I'd like more table chatter. I like
Yeah,
when
it-
the table's talking.
We're at what,
It's
like
fun.
hour and a half in the first one, we're 4. So like 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and these guys were all
Yeah.
playing 1-3 beforehand and then switched to 2-5
So
to
it's
be
been
on the
a long
stream.
day
So
already?
they've all been playing, you know, a pretty good session. I mean, we're getting
Yeah.
to the tail end of the session here.
Yeah, that's a
because
good point.
I think this game started at like 7, so if we're like, you know, 2.5 hours in, it's like 9:30, 10,
Yeah,
somewhere in there. So it's getting towards the end of the night. I mean, people are getting a little bit more quiet.
that makes sense. We got Ed opening. Mike's not folding the ace-6. And
Nope.
Brian's in there with the 10-9. Dan comes along as well.
Pretty good flop. The only guy with a heart is Ed,
Yep. Middle pair and a draw.
and he bets it out. Oh, he
Yeah.
did, I forgot. Yeah,
He opened
pair,
it, yeah. And Mike's going to come along with the ace for sure.
Yeah.
No go heads up to the turn.
Brian with a 9? Nope.
Nah.
Again, makes a good read.
Nice.
Dan's out. Down to heads up.
You got anyone
Peels a
next?
heart.
You got anyone next?
He just say cherry cola?
He said something.
Yeah, what the heck was that? Ed bets it out. He's got the second nut flush here. Pretty safe to.
Yeah, he's going to bet
I don't think Mike's
like
gonna-
100% of the time here unless he's trying to trap Mike into betting. But
Small pot.
yep. But gets the job done. A lot of small pots equals a big pot.
Hang on a second. Let me check your math. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that works out. 10 small pots equals 1 big pot.
There you go.
I like medium-sized pots, you know.
Yeah.
I like small pots too.
Yeah.
I like big pots as well.
Like,
I like-
so just all pots
I just
you like?
just to throw this out there, I like big pots and I cannot lie.
I don't know how I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. What just happened to the camera?
I'm like, yeah, it looks like somebody just... Are we on a GoPro now?
It's me. Oh, is that? You know what? We need a GoPro for this
There you
game.
go.
Just like instead of, you remember the old school World Series where like they had the glass and like the players had to put their cards over the glass and there was a camera like underneath
Oh,
it.
yeah.
There was that one?
Yeah, they would do that for high-stakes poker, too, I
Yep.
think,
And then
yeah.
and then the old school ones originally was there was a camera behind. Like in the rail,
Like in the
looking
rail,
this
yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and that's how you got to see players' cards. Like they had to physically have somebody like make these graphics.
Yeah.
Now this is so simple. I mean, it's the table almost runs itself when it's
Yeah.
working. You know, it's just all radio frequency identification, RFID.
That's what that stands for?
Yep.
Nice.
So it's just all radio tagged, and it's pretty cool. Hey, Tim's in a pot.
And he flops in a pair.
I like it.
Mike's got a gutter.
Mike's going to see it. I don't think anybody else is going to be in this pot. Heads up with Tim and Mike. Tim the quiet man and Mike the opposite.
Yeah. I was going to say, Mike, I don't know. I don't think I like Mike's call here with the 7-5 with two people back behind him, and the guy that hasn't put a chip in the pot yet is leading into the field.
Yep.
Yeah. It should be over here, but it doesn't look like it is.
We're going to see one more card, Mike says.
Yeah.
Why not? One more card.
But Mike is also here to play, so I do like that part of it.
Napkin on the river.
And 2 napkins in Mike's hand.
And Tim just didn't even...
Oh, wow.
Basically, as soon as the snap, like the dealer snapped that card out, he just threw in the money.
That's...
It just...
Yeah.
I like when players use that kind of betting in... Or maybe I notice it more, like the aggression of like when a bet goes in.
Like how
he actually bet. Like he didn't wait a second. He just, I was betting that flop, whatever. Like that bet was coming out.
Yeah.
It was predetermined. I do not care what that card is.
Matter,
nope.
Yeah.
And Mike gave it up. And
yeah.
Again, we know that the 7-5, he's really not getting.
No.
Yeah, and you're not bluffing
And
a guy
not,
that open pre-flop. Bet again on the flop. Bet again on the turn. Like bet again on the river. Yeah. Guy's not gonna fold.
Yes, and that was interesting. He went for all 3 streets for value. I like it. He's
and got there.
if you're not gonna play many hands, gotta get your money's worth when you do. Yeah, for sure.
Good way to do it.
The 9 pairing on the turn, makes his 8s a little stronger also.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Let's see what else we can come up with. Anthony's been awfully quiet lately, and he is the big stack at the table at 1,300. He's the big stack. He splashed around a little bit there in the
early
last hour.
Okay.
No, just in this last hour. I've been noticing he's been kind of trying to switch gears and play some garbage hands.
Oh, here we go, Anthony. Yeah. So you say he's quiet. He opens.
I know he opens,
heard you.
and he finally gets a good. King 10's a good hand. I mean, especially when you're looking at just crap for an hour.
You're playing 7-handed. It's not. You're not at a full ring table.
I like it.
And
you got Mike to fold.
Here comes Brian. Yeah.
And then Brian gets jacks again. 3-bets him. Anthony's gonna see a flop.
Yep. It must have been whispering. They were like giggling or something a little. I don't. Oh wow.
Bullet!
Jeez, what a flop.
Be the bigger liar down there.
Who's going to be the bigger liar? Yeah.
So, that's kind of what we're all thinking. It really, really bothers me when people that are not in the hand chime in with something like that.
Really?
I know we're all thinking that.
Yeah.
And I know it's pretty friendly, but you're not in the hand. You just wait till after the hand to say
it's a very fine line between when it's appropriate and when it's not, and you're always better to just go with it's not appropriate.
It's not appropriate, right? Yeah. If this guy didn't seem uncertain, he's like, nah, this is cool. We're gonna say this right now.
Which happens. I mean,
and like I said,
I don't think it really mattered in that particular
right.
instance. But again, you're right. It goes back to poker etiquette. It's a thing that I feel like people don't always remember. Maybe we've all our generation, right?
Yeah.
Like we're both in our 30s, late 30s. Right? Are you in your late 30s?
Mid-30s.
Okay, mid to late 30s.
Yeah.
Like, we were here during the poker boom.
Right.
We also I played with my family at family parties back in the day when you were playing 7-card stud and 5-card draw and the goofy games.
Just making games up,
And you're playing with legitimate nickels, dimes, and quarters.
Yeah.
That's what you're betting with, not poker chips. You're playing bicycle decks and that.
Yeah.
Anyways, then we go from that to, all of a sudden we're playing online poker where you could be a full raging ding-dong, playing in your underwear, doing whatever you want to do, screaming at the table. I used to love those videos where a guy would chunk his
keyboard,
or chuck the whole computer out the window.
Oh boy,
like a Mike Matisow. Remember he legit threw his whole laptop out the window.
I didn't know that.
But people, I feel like younger players now, they kind of forget the fact that there's a social aspect to poker where I don't know. And I'm not dogging anybody by any means. I feel like at times I'd like to use this commentary to make people think a little bit about trying to improve the game, right? it's such a thing in golf where people are always like, it's you're doing it to help the game. It's good for the game, right?
Yeah.
They're not talking about, it sucks when you make a double bogey or you get rivered and you get totally hosed on a big pot. Like, it happens. But again, there's no point in freaking out and being a jerk and screaming and yelling. Like, it sucks. We all know it sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody who's played poker has gotten rivered, and it's like, can you believe that guy made that call? And I'm like, yeah, but don't you want him to make that call?
Right. Yeah.
Like, you had an 80% chance to
Like,
win. If
well,
you want to
now-
ask me, let's put all
Not
my
when
money
he's
in,
going to get there.
and I got a 1 out of 5 times I lose, 4 out of 5 times I win.
Well, put
sign
the money
me up.
Put the money in.
Sign me up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's like
For sure.
1 out of 5 times you lose.
Yeah.
But anyways, there's my rant of etiquette and how to be a better person in society. But
Yeah.
poker etiquette, it's a thing.
Absolutely.
I don't always have it. I do some stuff that's, I do. When I'm losing it, I'm pissed. I'll leave before the hand's over or fold beforehand, or a guy will say raise and I'll just instantly muck
before he puts anything
again,
in. Again,
now the guy's thinking, okay, I had 2 players in the hand and I know one guy's already folded. Now it's heads up and I can change my bet.
Yeah, I was just talking.
I was going to bet $100, but now that I'm heads up, I'm going to make it $300.
Right, because I only got to get through that guy.
One guy,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So it's like those are the things that people are like, well, it doesn't matter. It
it's
does
like,
matter.
does.
It does matter.
It just doesn't matter to you because you're already done with the hand.
Great way to explain it. It doesn't matter to you,
right? But it matters.
But everybody
to
else,
the hand.
it matters.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're done preaching, right? I'm done preaching.
I'm all good.
Yeah,
we'll come back to it.
I like etiquette.
I do too. And like we said, it didn't in that particular spot. It didn't matter. It didn't seem to affect the hand at all, which is.
Is there etiquette rules in basketball? I've never played basketball competitively. I have no idea. Last time I played on a basketball team, I was in 5th grade.
There's got to be stuff like that for everything.
What about baseball? Golf, I know. I play golf. I still play competitive golf. So, I understand that there's stuff that happens and, whatever. There's just rules, unwritten rules.
Yeah.
They're not really rules. That's just stuff everybody follows.
Yeah, I know in baseball, if somebody hits your star player, you being their star player the next time around. I know that's etiquette.
No, I don't know if that
Is
counts.
that not etiquette?
That's just what's good for the goose is good for the gander,
Yeah.
maybe? I don't know. I'm throwing a lot of colloquialisms in there today.
It.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I'm trying to think. There's definitely etiquette in other things.
I can't think of any. I don't know.
All right, when we were younger, if you got walked, don't walk to first base, jog over.
Yeah.
Let's get the game
there you go.
going.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Easy stuff like that. Hustle in.
Hustle in, yeah.
Don't pick dandelions out in
Yeah.
outfield. My dad used to always yell at me. I wasn't a great baseball player.
Nah.
No.
I was okay.
I was afraid of the ball.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got to college and my buddies were like, hey, we're going to play in the softball league. Do you want to play? And I was like, They're like, we really need a guy. That's why we're going to ask you. Just kind of show up. And I was like, okay. I'll go drinking afterwards.
Yeah.
And then I kind of realized, I'm not afraid of the ball anymore. And, it totally flipped. And they're like, hey, you're pretty good. Why are you being so weird about playing? And I was like, I don't know. I just had, a life epiphany here that, I don't need to be afraid of getting beamed. It really doesn't hurt.
Yeah. I was
Again, there's pitching underhands. It's slightly different,
right, yeah,
but
you're
still.
you're not seeing fastballs.
No,
yeah.
you don't. No need to be afraid to get beamed every once in a while.
Right.
Everybody's got to take
You got
a
to toughen
punch.
up, for sure.
That's another thing that surprised me. We have fully gone on tangent here, and Brandon and I talked about yesterday or last time that we didn't have a tangent.
Oh, okay.
And so he's like, "Oh, tangents are for this second session." He's like, "You've been doing it for a while, so you can do it okay."
Awesome.
And so
I'll always show. I love tangents.
Tangents are great.
Do that. I love tangents when I'm not trying to make a point.
Right. It's just
Definitely.
we talked about Robin Williams.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about? It was great. I don't even know what the action is here, but the kid's good within.
Billy opened the pot. He got 4 callers.
Nice. I'm
Checked
glad.
around on the flop. He bet the turn. When Brian
Brian
picked up
called with a gut shot.
No, double gutter.
Oh,
Actually.
double belly buster, yeah.
Kind of an interesting one. Yeah.
Double belly buster, is that still a term?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. If,
It's
I don't,
old school.
It's
term.
old school. Yeah.
I'm finding I'm a little bit more old school than I like to think.
Yeah.
I like to think I'm
You reference,
cutting edge.
You reference Super System. If you probably read it, that's what Doyle.
Yeah.
He was like a double belly buster.
Right.
You know?
And
I
I
don't know. When I read it with
it's
a
right
Texan
there.
accent.
It's right there on my desk.
Yeah. I
like
definitely
it.
had an accent when I read it.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
for sure.
So,
But those guys were crazy
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have casino games. You just floated around home games and
Oh, back when like the road
yeah,
gambling
like
days.
road,
Oh,
yeah, like those road gamblers.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I never experienced that. Although I played home games
We
back
played
like
home games, yeah, but I
maybe
mean,
15,
I feel like
16 years ago.
I feel like
before CCG.
their chance of being robbed was higher than our chance of being robbed.
Absolutely, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah,
Plus, the games are a lot smaller, right?
yeah,
Ken will yell at you.
yeah. The games that they played back then,
Ooh, we got a new
compared
player.
to what the money was.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. We got a new player that just took Chris to see.
Vito? Is his name Vito or Dino? Some kind of O name. Vito, Dino, Gino.
We're gonna find out. Vinny,
I was super close.
you were,
I mean, Dino's kind of an Italian name. I knew it was an Italian name. Maybe that's
and
what
you
I
did
thought.
say a name with a V. So
I
like,
did.
You basically
Vito
nailed it.
and Vinny, totally the same thing.
Yeah.
Totally
When you
the
were
same
asking, all I could see was his hands. I was like, I don't identify. I mean, I actually kind of can identify a few people by their hands because when I'm dealing, I don't actually look above the shoulders.
You see
I'm
their-
just watching
right.
their hands and stuff. Yeah,
Makes for a good dealer.
yeah. Usually,
$210 Gucci hat. What's the most you've ever spent on a hat? I personally don't own any
not
hats.
210. I like, what's a hat like a I don't know, $30, $35,
35 maybe?
whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
MLB hat or
Yeah,
something?
something like that. Yeah.
Bulls hat. Do you have a go-to sport for hats? Is it always baseball,
Baseball.
hats?
Yeah, Cubs.
Cubs.
Yeah.
Cubs
I
hats.
always rocked either like a Cubs, and I used to have a Red Sox hat. I used to like the Red Sox. I like the look of the hats. Like, the Cubs don't make the hats, the fitted hats with the red bills anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I can't find
Like
them.
the
anywhere.
blue with the red bill?
Yeah, can't find it.
I wonder why.
I don't know either. And so
If anybody knows, comment and let us know why the Cubs don't have the red-billed hats anymore.
Yeah,
That's
that'd
bullshit.
be great. So I would rock the Red Sox hat with the navy with the red bill. That was like the contrast.
I only buy black hats, which is probably why I like the White Sox.
Okay, that
because
makes sense.
there are always black hats.
You can get a black Cubs hat.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They've realized there's a market for it. Mikey Mike opens up with
Got
some
a hand.
sevens.
See, this is a spot where Mike's opened so many pots. If he gets a little action and is able to hit like any piece of it,
Yeah.
he should get paid off a lot. That's the upside of playing as wide as Mike's playing right
Right.
now.
Then when you actually have a hand,
You
hope to
yeah,
get paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in bad shape here.
No, not at all.
A lot of undercards to his. All under flop.
Yeah.
Pretty
I mean,
sweet.
Brian picks up the open under. Yeah, Billy
And one
got a
diamond.
middle pair. Yeah.
One diamond. Still
Yep.
a diamond out there.
You always got to add in that little
Yeah, a little
backdoor equity.
extra,
Yeah.
little extra backdoor equity.
Yeah.
I watched a movie once that was called Backdoor Equity, but it had nothing to do with poker.
No, we're past 20 minutes, right? All right, cool.
YouTube only listens to like the first 40 minutes to make sure there's no inappropriate comments, so we're allowed to say that.
Billy came along with a 6 and.
Ooh,
all right,
peels
well,
a 5. Now that kind of kills Brian's hand a little bit because
Yeah,
now
it's-
him and Mike both have the same draw.
Yeah.
No diamond. King ball in the river.
Let me see if anybody goes for this here.
Billy's
No.
counting out chips, or was he?
He was shuffling. He
Okay.
he had already checked in.
He had already checked out. It's funny. I always see that Daniel Negreanu masterclass
Every
thing
time
on YouTube.
it comes up every
I love
YouTube
the fact
video
that
I ever
YouTube.
watch.
It does. Me
Yeah.
too. And I love the fact that they understand that I like poker, and that's a relevant ad for me.
Sure.
And I've seen it so many times now that I'm kind of contemplating, like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy it,
Yeah.
and, like, watch it and see how it is. But it's so funny because they're always talking like, everything you do at the table is
Conveys information. Yeah.
right. I was like, God,
Yeah.
eat a sandwich,
You can't
you're
be
on
all
your
loose.
phone,
You can't
be all
loosey
loosey goosey.
Yeah. Yeah. It for me it depends. Like if I'm playing online and I'm having a bad day and I'll watch YouTube. I'm like, yeah, I know, Daniel.
I got it.
I can't be all loosey goosey.
I'm trying.
Let's get past the stupid ad now. Like the other days, I'm like, you know, what? He's right. We do convey information.
We do. I'm the worst at it.
Yeah, I think I.
This guy told me, and I
Definitely
won't
guessing.
say what his name is because everybody will know him.
Yeah.
Even players-wise, he's pretty famous. Not famous, but he's been around the poker scene and the charity poker scene and Chicago's poker scene for a really long time. And we're playing at a home game like 15 years ago, and I just got crushed. And he had my number, like just knew everything. I just could not get anything through this guy, right? And at the end, he's like, Ken, I want you to know you have a super tell. I know what it is. And I don't know if he did it to like totally just mess with me.
Right.
But I was like, I was thinking back. I was like, man, he crushed me in every single hand. Maybe I do have this super tell.
Did he tell you what it was?
Never told me.
Oh my god, so that's even worse.
It was Woolworth.
Oh.
Nick Woolworth told me that. He's like, yeah, you got a major tell, bro. And I was like, wait, tell me what it is. He's like, nope. I was like, come on! So it was even better. Not only did he dominate me and just took all of my money in this 1-2 game in a garage, then on top of it, he plants this seed that 15 years later, I'm still thinking about it. Like, what am I doing that there's this... Does anybody else know how I'm twisting these Oreos open?
Right.
Because I just got... He Teddy KGB'd the fuck out of me.
That's crazy. That's gonna be his third book.
All right, so I think this is a massive hand.
Yeah.
So Ed opened.
Ed opened huge. Also, he was under the gun plus 20. Opened to 45.
Okay.
First in there, just made it 9x, and Anthony 3-bet him to 105.
And then he just...
And Ed's like, nah, we're gonna make
250.
it 250.
245.
Yeah.
And
now Anthony.
I mean, he calls.
He called.
Yeah.
So this.
That's all I have to say about that is...
It's it. I mean, wow. Okay.
Ed continues. He's just going to rep a bigger hand than he has, right? I mean, what else do you do?
Right.
I guess with queens you could check.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about this. It's rough. It's a rough hand.
155.
Here's the other thing. Did Ed leave himself an out? Meaning, can he get away from this? Because I just heard Anthony go all in. I mean, he just snap called.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I'm kind of speechless. That doesn't happen often.
No. So I'm going to take back what I almost said, which was I didn't like that Anthony just flatted the 4-bet for 200, leaving the guy 5 behind. Like, I was like,
if you're gonna get it in,
with
get
Ace
it
King,
in.
a lot of times you just want to see 5 cards. Like if you're putting this much money in already, and then I was like, okay, when this flop comes out, now you don't have a chance to get all the money from queens. I'm wrong, clearly. So I guess
that
it
hand
doesn't
played
matter.
very weird.
It played
It
different
played
than
odd.
I thought it would play out. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I think he did it. He had what 500 behind there, a little deeper. They're what 150 big blinds deep. So
I mean,
this is a part where I'm not so nuanced. Like I play mostly tournaments,
right.
with the exception of the beginning of the tournament. You're never this deep. Like a lot of times you're just 40 big blinds deep, and it's like okay, 3-bet, we're getting all the money.
And
in.
again, you're thinking about the fact that the blinds are going up
exactly
at some point, in the future.
Yeah. So I guess in that instance, I guess I don't hate Anthony's just flat because if the board just comes like 9 high, he just gives up and he doesn't lose $500 more also to over pairs.
Right.
So
Ed's not. He's not playing a game here. Like
right.
You're not. His best hope is queens.
Right.
Anthony's best hope is that queens is the best hand he can have. That he's still got equity to try to make something happen. Right. Because he can't beat kings. He can't beat aces.
Right.
He's just a super dog.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, his only hope is
Queens and flop a big one.
or maybe Anthony got jacks and thinks it's a good spot to put a raise in.
What do you think Ed put him on?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Those are the spots.
I remember watching that hand live, thinking, "Wow, that was odd. That was weird." He gave Anthony no credit whatsoever. It was like Mike almost had called the bet. Sorry, I meant that in a good way.
That is funny.
But like he gave him zero credit. Like how do you? I don't know.
Yeah, that's like when we were talking earlier with the 3 aces. When Mike and Dan both had the aces, and like I said, like there's a certain percentage of time where
Oh wow! Very next hand, Billy the Kid gets aces, and nobody even notices because they're so wrapped up in that previous hand.
well, Anthony opened, he 3-bet the button.
Whew.
So, but yeah, there's that certain amount of time where, like, I mean, you lead that flop and get raised, the queen should probably go in the muck, and he just got stubborn or lost it,
Well,
Like,
I had
that
talked
amount
about
of
last time. It's just like I'm gonna lose with this hand. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, and then I can just tell people I lost with queens. Like,
right?
whatever.
Yeah. See,
I don't know if like that makes it better, where you're willing to lose a pot because you got a big pair and you fell in love with it. It's just like, yeah, I had queens, I lost.
Yeah. Once.
It's like when you tell people you lost, you're like, oh, I had queens though.
Yeah. I don't.
But I called an all in with an ace and king on the board.
Right, like if you were gonna lose it all, like the guy made it 105, just put your 700 in. If you're going with it, let's just do it.
Just do it.
Because you make it 700, you actually have a chance that the ace king might fold.
Yeah.
I mean, the ace king didn't just snap get in when he 4-bet, so 4-bet jam probably works
Hold
too.
on. I don't even. Listen, first of all,
I don't know. It's an interesting thought process.
Right.
But however you want to justify hands is totally fine. It's
in the circle.
his money, right?
Yeah, always.
Always. That's
Always your
my-
money. Do whatever you want with your own money.
Absolutely.
Got
That's
him.
always
I wouldn't want him.
the more important part. We got a flush draw versus the open ender. Huh?
I'm gonna raise this turn.
Yeah,
And
and,
the
then a
king.
king is on the turn. Ooh, woof.
Is it,
Brian's got to like the king on the turn.
who is whooping?
That's Mike.
I thought so. I thought I saw him like doing something with his shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. That's at 35. Hang on. All right. We had a delivery at the door.
Yeah.
Front door delivery. Never seen a movie called that either. Brick on the River is
Oh,
a 7.
man. Now you're just
Split
gonna
pot.
chop it up.
Let's see if either one of them can make a bet and get it through and make it. But again, is this not true? It's the Mike and Brian show.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's their game.
It's
you're-
a heads-up table with 4 really close spectators.
Yeah.
Or 5. I
Five,
I keep forgetting Anthony.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Also, what's surprising to me is Ed might have been a little bit on, not a little bit on tilt. Obviously, a lot of tilt.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen him like leave before the end of the night.
Oh,
Like
and
he's
like-
normally
like-
just a guy, and he's got money. It's not
Yeah.
like he's pissed that he lost. I think he's
Yeah.
more along the lines of he's just mad about, you know what I mean? Like
how
it
the
was
hand
very.
play- yeah.
I give him 2 kind of props here. Looks like I bet in a call. 2 kind of props here. One, he knows himself well enough to know that he's massively on tilt. That either he played it that bad or he's upset that Anthony played it the way he did, and he had the foresight to be like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going home.
Right.
I never have that. I am the freaking captain of the Titanic. I am going down with this ship. I don't care what it costs or what happens. I can see the iceberg coming, and I'm like, speed up. Speed up, and maybe we'll hit it harder.
I've been working on that. What Ed did. I
don't have it in
I'm
me.
definitely more like
I give
you.
him supreme props for having the ability to be like, you know what? Washing my hands.
Right.
Screw you, secret handshakes. I'm out of here. What is he saying? Rounders?
Oh.
Yeah, something. Anyways,
Oh yeah. The
when they're playing like the
old
rich guy
Vegas
game,
secret
yeah.
handshaking ass.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah, it's great.
Enjoy
Anyways,
it, yeah.
enjoy your secret handshake, assholes, or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody knows that line, please tell us what it is.
Dolce's calling.
Oh Lord, yeah, I'm a captain. I go straight down. I can't help myself. I try, and I know it's coming. That's like the weird thing. Like I know, no good can come of
No.
this.
But maybe.
No, I know in my heart of hearts.
You do.
I know that the ship is going down. Like get out now, man. Get out. You can survive this. Get out. Jump ship. Get off the ship. Swim to shore. Best case scenario, you find a volleyball, you name him Wilson, you hang out for 3 years. So you find a porta potty and you fly home. Tom Hanks. Can we do Tom Hanks movies later? Maybe.
Some. I never saw that one.
You never saw Castaway?
I never.
Oh
did.
my God, it's a great movie.
I get this all the time. There's a whole list of movies I haven't seen that I'll tell people and they're like, "What?
How did you not see
never
it?"
Saw that? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is one of those actors though that like just makes a lot of good movies.
Yeah.
Like he just makes good movies.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it sucks, like
Yeah.
Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
It's all right. I mean, it's still okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't get too much for it. I mean, Big,
Big's good.
great movie. Castaway's good too.
I like Tom Hanks in A League of Their Own.
He's great in A League of His
So
Own.
good.
Some of my favorite lines is in A League of Their Own.
One of my favorite ones. I don't know if what he's like. I particularly love that part where you scratch the balls for an hour. It's like, well, anything worth doing right.
So good.
Yeah, he's plays.
Brian and
such
Mike
a
show
good
again.
job.
Heads up. Brian 3-bet him.
Yep.
Which seems to be consistent for Mike because he likes to open pretty loose, and everybody's putting him to the test. And he seems to call to see a flop a lot.
He does
Check in
is
the dark.
did Mike
Pre-checks.
I'm trying to think. Looked like. So Brian must have limped under the gun, and then when Mike raised out of the small, he 3-bet him. And good flop for Brian.
I mean, it's only 99%. How good could it be?
I mean, it's decent. It's not 100. Now it's 100.
No, it's 100. Bum, bum, bum. Anthony with almost a 2K stack. Brian's right there with him at 1K. Upstuck? Is that a thing?
I hear people say that, and
Do you,
I kind of
do
want
you
to.
ever get upstuck?
Well, every single. I mean, if you win a pot, like let's just say Brian doubles, right? And he gets a 2K now, and next hand he loses $20. Like, well, he's upstuck. Like, so the next time you put money in and you don't get some back, you're immediately upstuck.
Right.
So it kind of
you don't think about yourself when you're buying for 500 and you lose a
Yeah.
pot, you're down to 400. You don't think
Right.
I'm stuck for 100.
Right. Yeah,
Like you just
exactly. I hear that a lot, like upstuck or peak stuck, and I'm like,
What does peak stuck mean?
peak, like the peak that you've been at, and now you're stuck below it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same thing as upstuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's just annoying.
I think it puts a bad spin on a winning session. It's
Yeah.
like it's a winning session.
Yeah.
No need to put a negative spin on something good.
I used to have a regular
I need a way to
at,
make
at
a-
the boat who would,
Right.
who would say it all the time.
Oh,
I'm
really?
like, yeah, well, you're up 2K, so you could go
Who
home
cares?
and shut up and complain about it there.
Ooh, Brian, back to back, massive hands. I like the back to back good hands because I feel like you're
Because
getting
people
paid.
don't believe.
Yeah, nobody believes you.
They don't believe you. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Clearly, you got a call by 7-4 and 10-8, and Mike isn't one of them.
That's a really good
I
point.
I will say this, and not that I hate giving Anthony credit, but I kind of like some of the moves he's making. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like he's making some good moves.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him put any money in the pot where I'm like, dude, seriously, what was that? Which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, right here he's got the gutter. If he gets there and Brian
See a
happens
lot of checks
Brian
here.
happens to have a ace, he's gonna get paid.
Right.
So I saw Brian shaking his head there. I'm always surprised when the second ace hits
And
and
you
then
got
people
kings.
seem upset. It's like your hand just got so much better, and it's
yeah.
way less likely this guy's an ace.
There it is, tennis spade.
And he shows him 10-8 after Brian mucks the kings.
Ooh.
Nice hand, Vinny.
Vinny's giggling. He likes it.
Oh yeah.
See what you did there?
And I don't blame Vinny for betting there. You get Brian who opens 2 hands in a row, or puts in money
Right.
2 hands in a row. You don't believe him.
Yep.
Flop comes ace high. Of course, the guy that put money in is going to try to rep the ace, and then now he shuts down on the turn. Like your 8 is good, a good amount of the time.
Good amount of time, yeah.
It wasn't there, but then
Daniel Negron, you would be proud that you watched the first 30 seconds of Masterclass 1,000 times.
yeah,
and
right.
Now you got it.
Now we're there. I think that's the first pot we saw Vinny in too.
Vinny's a good guy.
Yeah, I've seen him around a lot.
He's been coming around a lot more often.
Yeah.
He likes to play cash games. He's like Brian.
Yeah.
He's the perfect customer. Plays cash games, plays tournaments, plays the sit and go if there's one going.
Yeah.
Plays the big stuff, plays the little stuff.
Whatever.
Doesn't bitch,
What do
doesn't
you, what do you
moan.
guys got going? Oh, okay, I'm in.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Like
It's
I went-
pretty great, yeah.
I am a perfect customer at other poker rooms.
Right.
I am allowed, and sometimes I get a little goofy. But
Yeah.
I like to have fun. I try to make sure everybody's having fun.
Yeah, loud
Like, I'll
doesn't
go to-
necessarily mean bad.
I'll go to Caesars or a poker room in Vegas,
Yeah.
and like I'm not the guy who calls and goes, "What games do you have running? What are the limits? What's this? What's that?"
Yeah.
I'm literally like, "I will play whatever you got. What do you got? What do we got going?"
Yeah,
I'm not going to be like, "Do you have 5-10 no limit?"
right.
I'd like to buy and for them in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'll play 1-1 then.
How many 2-5 seats do you have? Well, how long do you think till you open a table?
Right.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I
Yeah,
get it.
It's a,
The poker room does not know.
Yeah.
Just be cool. Just be like, yeah, I just want to play poker.
Right.
I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
They can be playing Badoogie, Badesi.
those are fun.
Yeah, I'm not very good at those. But
I
nobody
know.
else is very good at
Nobody
them either.
else is
So yeah,
right.
you can.
Well, at least nobody around that we know.
Right.
Like I'm sure there are people that are very good at those games. We don't talk to any of those people though.
No, they're real poker players.
Yeah.
Take it easy. I thought that was a nut flush draw from
I
Mike, but
did
it's not.
2 at first, and then I was like,
There's
oh,
only
he's
one
just,
club.
he's just not giving up the ace high.
He's just not giving up the ace side.
Check.
Anthony's got to bet it out because he's putting Mike on maybe spades. I don't know.
Oh,
Brand,
man,
Brand
he-
told me to
he-
stop guessing what people are
He
thinking
just hammered it there, yeah. The 300 out.
into a 200.
Oh, I guess he just put a stack out. Mike doesn't really have that much.
Oh, I gotcha. I'm not a fan of that.
Where you just chunk. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is what it is. Like, whatever. I feel like sometimes that gets goofy.
It can be. Like, if it's over really egregious, like if he just put 1,000 out right now, Mike's got 200.
Yeah.
You can always play the whole, oh, I didn't see you didn't have that much left. And then little mind games there.
It's a
do that
needle on
sometimes.
top of it where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you only have
Yeah,
200?
200.
Sorry.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, bust out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no way Mike was calling anything there with an ace high.
Nah.
You still live in Lombard?
Nope, 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 nope. Well, we're winding down here, Alex. What other thoughts and wisdom do you have to give us?
Wisdom?
Anything?
I don't know, but thoughts? I don't know. It's been a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be having a good time, which is like the most important thing. Like, I know you want to win, you want to come out ahead, but like if people aren't having fun in the game, even if you win $2,000, that game's not going to necessarily run next week because people
Right.
aren't having a good time. And it
Right.
seems like they all are.
Which is good.
We saw some good plays. We saw some out of line stuff, which is always great. Like,
yeah,
it's
you
a good
have to
mixture.
have that. It's got to be the
Absolutely.
combination of a little bit of both. Because
Yeah.
if you have just everybody playing GTO poker,
Yeah.
like it's kind of lame.
Yeah, I agree. We can't just put it in the solver, Manoli.
It's great. Did I tell you Manoli's line of on Tinder says something like "I rail more than poker tables" or something?
Oh,
And I was just like, dude, seriously?
I cannot tell you how happy I am that I found my wife before like this
Me too.
internet
Me too.
Tinder.
Me too. I've never experienced that. I
gosh.
don't know what it's like.
No, I'm so.
I don't know if I'm sad that I didn't get to disappoint how easy it is, or if it's way harder. I
Yeah.
don't know which one it is.
I don't think.
I'm glad I don't have to find out.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think I could handle it. I didn't have the stomach.
No, it's tough.
It seems like it to me.
Any calls with a gut shot?
Ryan improves the 2 pairs. Gonna check it.
Yeah. Napkin on the river.
Napkin. And Brian bets. All right.
Yeah, I mean, a check fold there from Vinny.
Yeah.
Hand plays itself. He shows
Yeah, I was
it.
wondering if Brian was going to get a little gun shy with the king out there and the fact that Vinny took him off the best hand a couple hands ago.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I don't think Vinny was bluffing. I think he was just betting his ace.
I think he thought he was good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was just value betting, yeah.
I had a king.
Those are always fun. The guy that didn't call the big blind pre. I had a king.
Cool.
Cool beans.
Again, goes back. That's more than poker etiquette because that's an actual breach of a rule when you're like.
Oh, no, he said it
When
when the hand was over.
I understand.
Oh, okay,
I'm just saying. I
understand,
love
yeah.
the guys when the flop's like, I don't know,
What? King, deuce?
deuce, deuce, jack, and the guy's like, man, grr,
Yeah,
grr." Like, bro, seriously? Did you just do that? I want to give them like a poker room should have a timeout corner.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's it. You get you're not only do you get a 3-hand penalty, but you got to spend the next 1 minute, 1.5 minutes in the freaking timeout box.
So the one place I used to work turned like this little area into like a little lounge, which is nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, they should have turned it into a cage. And then when people are arguing, you just send
them to the cage?
Go fight each other.
great.
If it's that serious, go fight or go
Most
home.
people are going to say, nah. Well, then give it up.
And shut up. Yeah, a timeout corner. I would love.
Anthony kind of loves his king tens.
Yeah.
Vinny calls.
Mr. Tight Pants, he said.
I hope that was just something else.
Sounded like that was men.
Just to be clear,
That
that
was
was not
manufactured,
from
yeah.
that was not commentary. That was from the video.
That was definitely
we
the
did
video.
not. That was a live sound.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Shows him the king 10. Shows him the king jack.
Yeah, Anthony gave it up.
Yeah. King 10's not working out for him. So
I mean, when you got king 10 clubs and the flop's all red, like
Yeah.
you just it's that was live this time.
maybe it was Anthony.
Maybe it was
like,
Anthony. Yeah, that's how I
terrible-
feel about that
terrible
hand.
flop.
Wow, we've reduced ourselves to fart jokes. This is good.
I mean,
Brandon will be so proud that he
will
missed
be.
this day.
He's always proud of us.
He called me, or I called him on my way over here.
Yeah.
And I was like, "How you feeling, man?" I was like, "Or when do you go in?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm already done." I was like, "How do you feel?" He's like, "Pretty good." And I was like,
We already got him out today.
"Yeah, just one. He just ended up getting one pulled, the one that was like impacted and infected.
Yeah.
He didn't get the other. I think both top ones were coming in, wisdom teeth, and he pulled one, and the other one, they're like, I'm going to wait a little bit and
Gotcha.
kind of break it up. I would rather go full blown, get it all done at once, but he chose to split it up. But anyways, when I called him, he had just gotten done. I was like, "Are you cool? Like, how you feel?" He's like, "I feel pretty good right now." I was like, "Well, that's probably the anesthesia still talking, or the the Novocaine." It's like, let's see how it goes when that stuff starts wearing off.
Right.
And then like 20 minutes ago, he just texted me. He's like, "Not doing so
Not
good.
doing so hot.
Not feeling so good."
I had a talk with him on the way over, or earlier today, not on the way over, before I came over. He
Appreciate it. How do I?
he said they wanted to put him under, and he was like, "No way," and I was like,
I don't know how.
"Yeah, put me under. I don't want to feel anything."
So when I got my wisdom teeth pulled, I got all 4 taken out
Yeah.
at once, and I was like, "There's no way I'm doing it any other way."
yeah,
My next.
9's on. 9's have been a hot card
The
lately.
whole time, yeah.
But in all fairness, we've had black 9s, red 9s, one of each.
all of the 9s.
All of the 9s have come out.
Quasimodo's next.
Quasimodo is next.
Yeah, those. It's at least nobody's giving our dealer here a hard time about it. They don't, like, when you put out a flop with 2 9s, and then the next one I have to like, did you even shuffle them? Like, yeah, you just watched me,
Yeah,
buddy.
you watched me.
You don't know how the shuffle works. You don't know how random works.
Sometimes they come out.
Let me explain math to you.
Math is hard though.
It is.
Are you kids? My kids aren't old enough to be in school yet. Do your kids have to learn that core math stuff?
Yeah.
That's gross.
I never, like, it throws me off a little because I've always been really good with math, but my wife is not a math person. She said she's like, I wish I would have taught this when I was in school. She's
Really?
Like, this is like
It makes
how,
sense to her.
She's like, this is how I do math. Like, when I'm trying to do it in my head, this is how I do it. I just never had the visual for it.
Never knew exactly
Yeah.
how it was breaking down.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of cool. I've never heard anybody say that.
Yeah, and my kids like it. They're all pretty good at it.
I mean, if
they get the math stuff.
If
from
you
our-
learn it that way from
Yeah.
the start, it's fine. All right, I think we got an actual hand here.
Yeah, we do. We got the.
Vinny opens from under the gun with 35 ace jack. Mike and Brian both call. Lose calls.
Right. Yeah.
Brian flops a queen.
Yeah. We got a queen versus the nut flush draw, and
And a gut shot.
And Mike's got the gutty. Yeah.
I'd like to see Mike get there once. Just once,
Just
Mike.
a little
I think
offsuit
Mike's
nine.
thinking the same thing right now.
He's like-
I'd like to
he-
just
he-
get there once.
He's like, guys, I thought 9s have been hot.
9s are
Where
hot. Where are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Just gives $100 bet.
Yeah.
And it does look like it's nearing the end of the night.
It
Seeing
is.
people-
And
Oh.
I think a lot of guys have just, oh, wow.
the money is just in, and he just snap gets there.
Oof. Billy. So, Mike can't beat Brian, and Brian can't beat Vinny.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
You ever have one of those nights where, like,
Yep.
the guy you can't beat, and he's like, he just keeps giving your money
Yep.
to someone else?
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
my
I'm
God.
like, bro, hang on to it
Dude,
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you just give him more to give away to somebody else.
Yeah.
And he gives it to the guy at the table. Not that Vinny's this guy, but like he gives it to the guy that's just not going to lose it back.
Right,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the worst. Yeah, it's like loses to the guy that plays one hand every half hour.
Right.
Yeah.
You're just like,
that's
awesome.
like you said,
That money's
Vinny
gone.
is not that.
No,
guy. Vinny's
he'll play.
playing. Yeah,
He'll play.
He's in there.
Yeah, totally not.
But, yeah.
So it's not the case. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, I've definitely. Yeah. Yeah, those are rough.
Like you lose a big hand, miss a big draw, whatever it is, and then that guy, you're like, all right, well, good chance I'm going to get that. That money's going to go back in the pot. Like
Yeah.
I'll have a chance to get it. And then he loses to a big pot to like the super nit at the table, and you're like, sweet.
Had that happen in the bounty the other day. Like
Sweet.
I would double up a short stack, and then somebody else would get their bounty later, and I'm like, come
Come
mine.
on! That's my money.
It's mine.
Now, in that bounty tournament, how many bounties did you win?
I won 5, and since we chopped heads up, we
I got you.
kept
Both
our
kept
bounty.
your bounties.
So
So
6.
you knocked out
I
5
knocked
players,
out
though.
5 people. Yeah.
It's pretty gross because there's 40 players in the tournament. That's
Yeah.
more than 10% of the field.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah, and the kid I chopped with, he knocked out 5 people.
5 guys.
Also, yeah.
So you guys accounted for 10 out of 40?
Yeah. Plus our 2, so 10 out of the 38 other players.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
even more.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good tournament.
Well, thank you.
Tournaments over at the CCG are always very good. We played forever.
Yeah.
The tournament ran like
Till 9 o'clock?
Almost 9 o'clock, yeah. Like 8:50, I believe we ended. We started at noon. Yeah, but you get to play the whole day.
Which is kind of nice. I mean,
Absolutely.
sometimes you want to get a long session in.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean,
You
what
want
you
a lot
win.
to play too when you're playing, like, it's $300 buy-in.
Yeah.
First place was almost $3,000.
Family pot?
You want to have, you don't want to
$300
you don't want to be at
included the
the
$100 bounty. So it's really a $200 tournament with
Correct.
$100 bounties.
Correct,
So,
yeah.
because people are always like, "How is it so low on first place?" I was like,
Right.
"Well, you got to remember, it's not a $300 tournament.
Correct.
It's a $200 tournament.
Right, yeah, for the-
and you're paying $100 for your own bounty. So
Right.
it's like a third of the prize pool is in bounties.
Is immediately gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see this. Anthony is going to get it through here with a $15 bet. Nah, Vinny's going to look him up with clubs.
With the clubbies, yeah.
And a 9 pops off.
Let's see if Vinny takes a stab here.
Nah, check. Told you were ahead. I'm just saying, bet it out, kid.
Dude, just bet your hand. Yeah, I didn't hear all that, but I always loved it. I love laughter at a poker table.
Yeah.
Nothing
Again,
better.
it's fun. It's supposed to be a fun
Absolutely.
game. It's miserable if it's not fun.
Yep.
Well, I feel bad. Tim left,
Yeah.
and he literally only got to play one hand on camera.
Yeah, he played the 8-10
Yeah.
against Mike.
and got it through.
He got his value, yeah.
He did.
He got
He won a nice spot on that
Yeah.
one. We are closing out here. I don't know. There's got to be 1 or 2 hands left
Yeah, we're getting near the end here.
before they're done.
And I think, yeah, it looks like the event, like when we get to the other angle, you can see like
It's
people are packing up,
clearing
and leaving.
out.
So I don't think we're gonna see too many crazy hands.
Do you think it's a positive or a negative? Because I think it's both. I think depends on how the players think of it. But
Where do you live?
like when you go to a casino, there's no end time. So it's
In,
difficult to
in
leave.
Illinois, there is.
Oh, that's right. There is
Yeah.
no
So if
Illinois.
you go to the shoe, yeah, you could just be there
It's
for like
24
3
hours,
days.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
They're open on Christmas.
Absolutely.
There's no like. You're always like, one more round, one more round, one more round, one more round.
Right.
Whereas at charity poker, I mean, we got to close at a certain time.
Right.
Game over.
Yeah. I think it makes an interesting dynamic at the end of the night.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you got guys who are stuck trying to get even. You got guys who are up trying to really
Yeah.
push their win.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys who are in the middle that are just like, oh, I didn't even realize that we only had 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Didn't even know there was a clock on them.
Yeah, charity poker is a little different when like we don't run as long. Like we're here for like 12 hours usually ish, 11 12 hours. And the guys that are winning are still here. Versus like when I worked at the casino or played in a casino, all the guys that by 6 a.m. when like they'll usually close, all the guys that won are already gone.
Yeah.
Everybody's stuck. The pots are crazy at the end of the night.
Because everybody's trying to get even.
Everybody's just trying to get. They want to flip. They want to do this. Yeah. So I
What
think
did they
it's-
chop with? Oh, a deuce. I was like, what did they chop with?
and Anthony's ace high is just 2 napkins now.
2 napkins.
That's how
So yeah, I do like the I like anything that changes the dynamic a little bit.
Right.
Like any time of anything. Like
It's just
so
fun.
like hey, there's 3 hands left. Like okay, it's gonna change something.
Right.
Like because it's still all random. Like even if you see the whatever. A dealer accidentally flips a card up and that becomes a burn card. Now everybody has a little more information. It's not great, like a mistake was made, but like it changes the dynamic.
A little
for
bit,
the
yeah.
hand, yeah.
Because he said the comment. Remember the
Like when we do tournaments too, like the tag team tournament, and you just get randomly.
It's different.
You switch in the middle of the hand. It's like okay, now everything's totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I like
it's fun to
those.
get.
I like gimmicky things sometimes
Yeah.
because they change it.
It's just something new.
Absolutely.
Just makes the game a little bit different, a little bit more fun.
Right.
I mean, that's what's so great about the Chicago Series of Poker, the CSOP,
Yep.
which is coming up. We do a bunch of different games.
Yeah.
Like, they're not all just Texas Hold'em. You
Yeah.
get all the goofy games.
Right.
Tag teams and...
I would.
You know.
I don't know if it's on the docket. I would love to see a win the button tournament. Have you seen those?
Yeah, where if you win the hand, you win the button.
Yeah, you can
And it
just
constantly
punish-
changes.
You can just
Yeah,
punish
it's
people.
gross.
Yeah,
All right, I kind of like it. Win the
Yeah.
button tournament.
I like it. Yeah. Something like that changes the dynamic. Oh, especially if we did Big Blind Annie.
Oh,
The
man.
person who you would just
Do you do
punish-
that?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can.
I don't know. I think you might have to go to the old school.
Old school
ante.
one. Or no
Yeah.
antes. Do like a,
Oh, like
a
the
small,
bird
like a
structure.
$60
Yeah.
tournament, you know, where it's like...
That's probably better.
I mean, you know what? I'm always trying to find a cool way to maybe change the bird. Maybe that's a good one. Because that's
Oh, yeah,
20
like-
bucks. You're like, whatever, it is what it is.
The
Like,
last
people always
series,
get so mad.
What did we do?
We do the double board.
That's
It's a great way to do it.
another way to change
Super
it. Yeah.
fun. Because it's twofold. One, it gets players that are not comfortable playing something new.
Yeah.
It gives them a huge incentive. It's like, well, it's $20
It's the
buy-in.
bird, yeah, for
Like,
sure.
whatever. It's $20. Like, it's fun to try
Yeah.
something new. Even if it sucks.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's $20.
$20, yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think the bird's a good spot, like, to experiment a little.
I
And
tell
think-
people that all the time, where it's like they should be, when you want to try to do something new, the early bird's a great place to do it because
Yeah.
it's inexpensive. I also tell people, don't get mad when a guy calls you out on like a terrible play and gets there,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, well, it's $20 tournament."
Yeah.
Like, it's the truth.
Yeah,
Like, it's
it's
kind of
$20, yeah.
right a way to do it. The ghost wakes up with aces, makes 30 to go.
And Billy the Kid's got king, queen, and
Yeah,
suited.
And
in
everybody had limped in until Dan on the big blind opened.
So
It looks like everybody's calling. This is something I was like.
I did say I didn't think we'd have any big hands, and looks like
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
Yep. I think it's the last hand of the night too.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep. So this is it.
I love it.
Ooh, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh.
This is an interesting flop. I'm trying to see where everybody's at right now.
Dan's still in the lead.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna bet it out when you got aces and the flop 6, 7, 8.
So you got
two diamonds.
Mike's there, top pair with a gut shot. Anthony's right behind him with middle pair and an open ender.
Right.
Brian with just the
Open ender.
clean open ender. And Vinny's got a gut shot, but
Yep.
his gut shot is no good.
Nope. Billy the Kid.
And Vinny is the only one with a diamond in case it did go backdoor
Yeah.
diamonds.
That's great. But it's the 4 diamonds,
It's
so
four
it's so
diamonds.
easy to give
So
up.
I don't think it's gonna. Yeah. Good.
The
job,
other
Vinny.
thing that I liked too is that it's the domino effect, right? Everybody limped in.
Oh yeah.
They probably know it's close to the end of the night. It's
Yeah.
exactly what we talk about. They know that the night's coming to an end.
Yeah.
Mike calls the $30, right?
Yeah.
Because then Big Blind makes it 30. Mike calls. Anthony calls. Brian calls. Everybody at that point's like, well, good lord, like,
Yeah.
pew 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 pew.
Yeah, and
just
you
the
see-
dominoes start falling, and then the entire field gets in.
Yeah. And you can
For
see
probably
all-
not a great, but it's just like
all those hands were like, yeah, let me see if I can get there.
get something
Like
on
type
the
of
flop.
hands.
I'd love to see the flop.
Yeah.
Especially playing against 5 other players, because you know if you flop 2 pair
Absolutely, yeah.
straight, and a lot of them had straights and outs, and it's fun. Mike with the 8 and a gut shot.
You got a chip hiding behind them.
What do I got here?
So Dan had bet 30, Mike had called, and Brian made it 130.
Right.
And now Mike's all in for less.
This might get him to fold
Obviously,
on
Dan
the turn.
calls.
Yeah.
If I jam it in, they might fold on the turn.
4 of clubs would have improved Billy the Kid's hand, but he folded.
He would have picked up the flush draw, and actually the 1 seat, or the 2 seat, I'm sorry.
Anthony?
Anthony had 7-5, but got away for $30.
Yeah. Mike's gonna put the rest in. $19, it sounds
Is that
like.
19 or is that not allowed?
Oh, I thought he was already in. I'm
Yeah,
way
which
off
is
there.
fine.
Basically
I mean,
the same.
he was all in. No way he's folding for
Right. I saw a guy fold for
Doesn't
$1
matter.
one time.
Nope, impossible.
He put
Didn't happen.
He put $120 in. The guy min raised the river, and he gave it up.
Hang on a second. What just happened there? Dan checked. Brian snap all in,
Yeah.
and Dan
Snap.
just calls.
Like no,
Didn't even
no
so
hesitation.
fast that I didn't even. I was like, "What happened?"
No
oh, hang
hesitation.
on, what happened?
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Wow, that pot just got really out of hand. Really
I
fast.
never seen a faster stroke
And
call.
Brian had some.
Dan might have just doubled.
I think more than double. Well, clearly because there's
Yeah.
2 players in the hand.
Well, I'm saying I think Brian had him covered.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that pre.
Brian had like almost 1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And these are 100.
Wow.
That is an interesting end to the night.
It is absolutely crazy that it went that fast.
Yeah.
Neither one of them
Snap.
Again,
snap.
it's what I said. Like, right, they're just committed to doing whatever it is they're doing. They're not
Yeah.
even gonna think about it.
Not
Like,
even.
I'm seeing this hand through. Dan's just like, I'm playing these aces.
I have aces, I'm not
You
folding.
beat me. You beat me.
Good luck. Yep.
But I'm playing it the whole way
Yeah.
down.
That's the worst thing to hear too. Like when you bluff into some guy and go, "Well, if you got it, you got it." It's like, "Oh, great."
Yep. I don't got it. I don't got it.
I never got it.
Yeah, whenever I have quads and I make that like baby value bet,
Yeah.
the guy's just like, you got it this
You
time.
got it this
and I
time,
can't.
yeah.
I'm like, damn it, I do have it.
Yeah.
Why don't you call me when I?
Was it Woolworth?
Yeah, oh, no, that's hilarious. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, folks. That is the end of this 2-5 cast session with Dan raking in a massive, massive pot at the end with aces, which is pretty sweet.
That's pretty sick.
So thank you for doing the commentary with us, Alex.
Awesome.
And
Thanks for having me, Ken.
everybody will be back next week with something. We don't know what. Oh, we will have an RFID table and a 2-5 game this Saturday at St. Andrews in West Chicago. May
Same location.
4th, same location.
Nice.
So come out and see us. Bye, everybody.
Take it easy, guys.